Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Mid-South Wrestling Review Series, October 2nd, 1982. We're going to finish 1982 today, at least I hope, and hopefully get to some of 1983. That would be cool, right? Anyway, we open with Nick Bockwinkel and the Junkyard Dog in highlights from Houston. Bockwinkel, my favorite all-time heel, so there's certainly a bit of bias that I have there. Bockwinkel kind of doing some posing and basic stuff. Houston coming into Mid-South here in 82. They continue their partnership until Houston goes out of business or is bought out by the WWF in 87. And it's interesting because there is a tie-in to every once in a while using the AWA champion. Watts has an interesting, I guess you'd say, philosophy or whatever have you, in that throughout the time of Mid-South, both the AWA and NWA champion are in, which is a pretty big deal. Bockwinkel, again, to me, the best heel of all time. That's just a personal opinion. I completely love him and whatever. Powered by the dog. Dog hits a few shots early, and away we go to Dog ending up nailing a shot or two and a kick under the chin there by Bockwinkel. Bockwinkel slowing things down a bit and choking the dog out pretty aggressively and assertively for a couple of minutes. The fight continues there, and the dog having to fight from underneath for a few minutes, but that's to be expected, facing a world champion and the like, and without a doubt, the nature of Nick Bockwinkel versus the Junkyard Dog is in fact the type of match where you would expect there to be a clash of styles. Dog with a few punches early and manages to hit a double axe handle and a couple of other shots. Do not believe the AWA Championship is on the line here. Big thump slam by the dog, and he doesn't immediately go for a pin, but also you might even say that Bockwinkel undersells the move, as in fact he gets he's up and about, and then we see the slam a second time. The thump slam a second time. Dog gets the victory there. Then we move to what I consider to be a relatively useless match. Buck Robley and Skandar Akbar. Just a comedy match. Throwaway. It makes sense to put it on TV because you want to get people to the house shows. Very punch kick, basic stuff. Robley, again, a guy that I don't really have a great deal of interest in because I don't get it, arm bars, side headlock takeovers, and snapmares. They both guys stand brawling. Odd for a manager to be able to stand brawling with a guy of Robley's supposed acumen, and Robley does get a victory with a sleeper hold. Killer Khan, though, comes out afterwards and goes to town on his opponent, and or Akbar's opponent, and Killer Khan still a major force there. Speaking of major force, Kamala with what I believe is his first official match in the area. Tim Horner is his victim for the day. Obviously, Kamala started in the CWA area down in Memphis, and in fact, the continuance of that. The Memphis style push actually goes throughout several territories. Kamala comes in, becomes a main guy for a little bit, probably has 6 months to a year of a run, and then goes away. Tim Horner, relatively new, not really getting his major push yet anywhere, and coming in 83 in Georgia, as high as he goes. Horner, again, majority and enhancement talent for the majority of his career. Friday is the masked individual taking care of Kamala. Kamala, of course, a tribal painted up individual, and we see him punch, kick, chop, and in under about 3 minutes, he gets a big splash victory. 1, 2, 3, and away we go. The Grapplers versus Jesse Barr and Vinny Romo, and Grapplers, of course, Len Denton and Tony Anthony. Pretty decent team here. Both guys in black and white masks. Have a masked team throughout the ages is always a good thing. Lots of regular quick tags by the heels, and that kind of leads to things going in the direction of the heels for the majority of the contest, and we kind of see, some cutoffs, lots of brawling, bear hugs, and body slams by the Grapplers. Grapplers probably going to be a big team here. Of course, by 83, 84, we see the Rock and Roll Express and the Midnight Express. I can't wait to check that stuff out because, well, I'm a huge Jim Cornette fan, and I'm also a fan of tag team wrestling. Tag team division here in Mid-South in 82 has been, I don't know if I want to say weak, but it's certainly going to get better as we go into 83, 84. And, cutoffs send to the rope and the like by the grapplers there with the hangman backbreaker and a shoulder breaker there. Isolation of Romo in the corner, and again, I think they do the double load the boot spot and get a victory there. Let's see. Then we go into, I believe it's Mr. Olympia and Ricky Harris, otherwise known as Black Bart, is the next match here. And again, Olympia, a big guy, has been a regional champion for quite a while. Harris still hasn't found himself, but continuing to develop in a way where he's going to find himself over the next several months. Olympia brings Harris in the hard way and sends him into a big body slam and the like, and then we see, kicks to the lower leg area, and Olympia managing to hold his own for several minutes. Irish whip and the shot to the midsection, followed by the sleeper hold after an atomic drop, and Olympia gets a victory. Tony Atlas, returning to Mid-South, says the action is going to be phenomenal, and he's impressed with that. We see I believe it's from Houston, although I'm not necessarily sure, a Grand Marquis and Tony Atlas match finish. Joined in progress. Atlas using power. Obviously, military press slams coming back from being the underdog. Bit of a brawl for Tony Atlas. Tony Atlas does the double down, comes back up, manages a big splash, among other things. 1, 2, 3, and Atlas is victorious in his Mid-South return. I believe he was here for the good bit in 1979, 1980 or so. So, he comes back through every once in a while. Ted DiBiase and Mike Bond are up next. DiBiase, of course, still your North American champion. DiBiase will wrestle just about anybody, and they put him on TV a lot as the champion. Again, the North American Championship, the biggest championship in the area. Big body slam by DiBiase, back elbow, and the diving fist drop. I love the angular fist drop by DiBiase. DiBiase continues to be upset of the way that he lost the North American Championship from the beginning. Backbreaker, short backbreaker by DiBiase, and he is less than happy about a lot of things. Irish whip and a clothesline. And then the power slam, big power slam by DiBiase. His power slam, one of the better ones in the area, one of the better ones in wrestling, in my personal opinion, but that's just me. DiBiase complains about mistreatment for him and Jim Duggan, and basically says he's unhappy that the Junkyard Dog gets favoritism. We then go to a main event match. This main event, Mr. Wrestling 2 against Ted DiBiase. They're given about 7 minutes or so. Wrestling 2, of course, a big baby face in the area. Good match here if you like basic psychology. Big hip toss by Wrestling 2. DiBiase heads for lower ground in a hurry. Has difficulty getting out of the ring, but he doesn't seem to care. Continues to be. There's my phone, and I will grab that. I will be back in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. And again, DiBiase just wants as much time as he can get to kind of, control and sell and everything. We kind of go to Wrestling 2 being the more aggressive individual. DiBiase kind of backpedaling and doing a good bit of that. We move through, and again, they don't give a full finish to this because it's television and you're trying to get people to go to the house show. Arm drag and the like by Wrestling 2. And again, there's my phone a second time.
Incoming team chat request.
And again, as is the case with most Mid-South finishes, this match ends without a finish, but we will be finished with 1982, hopefully today. In any event, keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.